Duel Wield. Two pistols at once, one pistol in each hand. Akimbo, made iconic in movies and video games, but why has no country on Earth has ever adopted it in real life? Dual-wielding pistols, often called Akimbo, is one of the most enduring tropes in action cinema and video games. It projects an image of overwhelming firepower and supreme confidence. However, the reality of combat is governed by physics, physiology, and the harsh necessity of efficiency. While the image of the dual-wielding gunslinger is iconic, historical evidence and military doctrine tell a very different story. The historical reality, frontier and crime. To understand why militaries avoid this practice, we must first look at the eras where pistols were most prominent. The American frontier and the era of motorized bank robberies. The Wild West and lawmen. In the American West, many individuals did indeed carry two pistols. However, they almost never fired them simultaneously. This practice was known as carrying a brace, because the black powder revolvers of the mid to late 19th century were slow to reload and prone to mechanical failure or misfires. A second pistol served as a New York reload. When the first gun was empty, the shooter would drop or holster it and draw the second. Famous figures like Wild Bill Hickok or John Wesley Hardin carried two revolvers for redundancy, not for double the volume of fire. Aiming a single-action revolver required cocking the hammer with the thumb. Trying to do this with two hands at once while maintaining any semblance of aim was considered a fool's errand. Prohibition era and bank robbers. During the 1920s and 30s, gangsters like John Dillinger or Babyface Nelson were known for using high-capacity firepower. While they might be photographed holding two weapons, in actual shootouts, they favored the Thompson submachine gun or sawed-off shotguns. The only documented dual-wielding in this era usually involved a criminal suppressing a crowd with one weapon while using another to point or threaten, rather than engaging in a tactical gunfight using both simultaneously. Proven incidents in warfare. There is no official record of a military unit being trained to fire two pistols at once. In the chaos of trench warfare during the First World War or house-to-house clearing in the Second World War, there are anecdotal accounts of soldiers drawing a secondary pistol when their primary failed. One possible proven instance of something resembling dual-wielding occurs in the history of the Cossacks or certain cavalry units. A rider might hold the reins in their teeth or let them lay on the horse's neck while firing a pistol in one hand and holding a saber or another pistol in the other. However, this was a desperate measure of proximity, not a recognized marksmanship technique. The logical and physical drawbacks, the reasons militaries eschew dual-wielding, are rooted in the fundamental mechanics of shooting. Militaries prioritize hits on target over lead in the air. Advantages. The niche argument. If there are any advantages, they are psychological rather than tactical. Suppression. In an extremely confined space, like a narrow hallway, firing two weapons could theoretically create a wall of lead to force an enemy to take cover. Redundancy. Having a second weapon ready if the first jams is an advantage, though this is solved by carrying a holster, not by holding both at once. Future military applications. Will we ever see dual-wielding specialists? In the current biological framework of the human soldier, the answer is no. However, there are two scenarios where this could change. If future soldiers are equipped with neural links or advanced heads-up displays, HUD, a computer could theoretically track two different targets and project aim points for each hand. If the soldier is wearing an exoskeleton that compensates for recoil, the physical instability of one-handed shooting disappears. Robotics and AI. A quadruped or bipedal robot does not have a dominant eye. An AI can process two separate ballistic calculations simultaneously. We may see robotic platforms with independent weapon arms, but this would be a feat of engineering rather than gunslinging. The logistics of training a soldier to dual-wield would be a nightmare for any quartermaster. Cost. Double the ammunition consumption for a lower hit probability. Training time. It takes hundreds of hours to make a soldier proficient with one sidearm. Training them to coordinate ambidextrous fire would take years with diminishing returns. Weight. Every ounce matters. Carrying an extra pistol, and extra holsters, and double the magazines takes away weight that could be used for water, medical supplies, or body armor. In conclusion, dual-wielding remains in the realm of fantasy because military science prizes efficiency, lethality, and reliability. Until humans evolve a second brain or a second set of eyes, the two-handed grip on a single firearm will remain the pinnacle of sidearm combat. But I personally think militaries should adopt dual-wielding pistols for certain combat roles, such as one member of an elite squad. I think the advantage of shooting two different enemies in completely different directions is a huge win, especially in close quarters and with a trained, very accurate individual. Another important choice is what pistol someone uses. A light, reliable, and easy-to-reload pistol would be ideal, and extended magazines would be best considering reloading takes longer than one pistol. Also, suppressors would be best, because dual-wielding pistol soldiers are best for top-secret, covert, small squadrons of troops. Dual wielding is featured in both Star Wars, the Clone Wars shows, the 03 cartoon, and the 08 animated series, and it demonstrates it can be effective in certain combat situations. Of course, Akimbo pistols was also made famous by the video game series Call of Duty. Well, I guess that wraps up this one, dudes. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy. Check out my other content on our channel. Do not forget to subscribe, ring the bell, so you don't miss out on future uploads. Drop a thumbs up and type us a comment down below. You've been watching the Everything Weapons YouTube channel. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of your evening.